5:45. Go ahead and call this to order. First things that we need to do is, so we don't meet back to back, is everybody available October 30th to meet? That way we have a week in between, because I know we have some discussion on some other things that need to be brought up tonight. So you guys check your busy calendars.
It's fine with me, I'm good.
I'm good.
You're not riding your broomstick, right?
Not that much.
That's the
Catch me
next
the
night.
Saturday before, right?
Okay. So our next meeting then will be October 30th. Monday, and then that will still give us 2 weeks before our next meeting. So we should be good. Gotta give credit where credit is due. Mr. Moore's the one that brought that up, so. And that, we'll go out of here telling everyone it was his idea anyhow. Second thing, council, we have to take the ethics training. And is there a place, and I think Roger and I both have to take it.
We've already taken the ethics.
Yeah, we've taken
I
it.
took the sunshine law today, so.
So is there a place? Well, so I have to,
Just take it, print your certificate.
well, but we can designate,
Yeah, I think only one of us have to do that. Sure.
but you have to designate it out. It's gotta be in the minutes. And I think, I mean, I'll do it.
Well, I printed my.
But I can't
certificate
remember if
today.
there's a spot on there where you can list the people that you're. Is there?
I think so. I mean, that was
I
2
think
years
that's-
ago.
You did that 2 years ago,
Yeah.
Haley, but
Yeah.
yeah, in
I
the
would
minutes,
say, yeah.
in the council minutes, you'll have to state who's doing it and list in there who you're covering, and then when you do the class, I'm pretty certain, Tom, that there is a
Okay.
place that you will list who you're representing. Because
There
then the
wasn't on
state
the-
auditors will. look
I was gonna
at
say,
that.
well, the last couple of years I've had to take it for school and I've never had that.
Yeah,
there's
public
never
school
been a
works, you
place.
don't have to list. Even when our attorney did it, we didn't have to. do
So-
that.
So I just need to go to the
Maybe-
state auditor site? Or-
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
That's fine. That's fine. Then I can do it. We'll just have to make sure it gets
I
in the
attempted to
minutes.
do the training, the online training on the state auditor site or state AG site maybe. And it got through the 7th lesson and the 8th wouldn't load and wouldn't let me go on. So I don't know if that's something with their software or what, but
Sounds like you need to call IT.
Yeah.
it's not our, it's not on our end, I know that.
Okay, so. I'll do that, make sure, put it in the minutes, okay? Yeah,
That he's doing it on behalf of all city council.
yes.
Thank you.
I think there was some confusion with the ordinances and things that were submitted to us, so the resolution and ordinance is the same. Ordinance 4923 is going to be removed from the agenda because it's the same as, I think, resolution 1323. So we'll remove that. And I believe both ordinances, well, there's 3 ordinances and they need to be passed. Is that right? Max 5023 needs to be passed. Okay. And then, Max, we discussed on the phone, what else are you going to bring up tonight that needs to be on the next meeting?
I've got some information on safe routes. Kaylee and I met a couple, it's probably been 2 or 3 weeks ago now, Jim Lawyer. She turned me on to Becky Fletcher, I assume is the transportation director at the school.
No, Jennifer Andrews,
Enos.
or, no, Jake Conrad is.
Enos. So she has, yeah,
Okay.
but she has all that
So-
information.
They sent us, in 2014, there was a survey done at the school back to that. Boyer forwarded that on to me. I sent that on to Becky. She's already started on it. We have to have it in by the end of the year to Omega. It will help us write it in. It would probably, the program opens in January of 24. It would probably be a construction of 2026. Kind of thought it would be a slam dunk that we would get that. It's up to 500,000 now. And we would get also apply for some TAP funds. That's transportation. Something like
I think
that.
it's Transportation Alternatives Program.
There you
I
go.
think is what
Yeah.
that stands for.
And we could apply for them for the construction engineering, and there's no reimbursement. So, and once he said we get in, it's like in every other year, then you could get that money. So you would build 1 year, engineer, build. So, and if you got that 2 or 3 times, you could have a lot of nice sidewalks. Talked about the 23. Dave may talk a little bit more about it, but he's working with Mike Maslowski.
Yeah, Maslowski.
Maslowski with the alternative school. They'd like to go to for a 3-year lease versus the 1, which I'm fine with that. Keep the price the same. We actually raised it last year by about $7,000, so 17 5 years. So I'll have that next time.
Are you gonna provide that to all the schools who use it, the 3-year lease, or just to Ridgewood?
They're probably the fiscal agent for the
Are they the
program.
fiscal agent?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
And not
so it
Something,
applies to all three.
or Jefferson, I guess.
Jefferson County.
County.
Yeah,
Jefferson County.
Yeah, okay.
I didn't know when you wanted to, if, in the interest of time tonight, if you wanted to talk about the stormwater plan or not. We did have a meeting on that, so it's the infrastructure committee
Yeah,
on October.
yep,
Uh,
let's do it.
So we met on October 2nd with the infrastructure committee here at City Hall. We talked for a long time about creating a stormwater utility. And of course, the debt reduction will be coming off this month. And basically, we would be replacing that debt reduction with something that we need for the city to replace terribly aging infrastructure. Of course, stormwater plan, and we're mandated by the EPA. You know, we have an MS4 plan and all that good stuff that we have to follow. And we just don't have the funds available to do what we need to do to keep all that up. So I believe council come up with an option on with administration on what that would cost. And I believe we said $10 for residential, $20 for commercial. When I say commercial, that'd be like your places along Main Street. Michelle Building, a good example, and $40 for industrial.
Did you say 20 for commercial?
Yes.
So it wouldn't be an increase, because right now everybody pays $9.75 and then the quarter for
That's correct.
storm. So
That's
there would be
20
no,
for
there
commercial.
would be no difference to,
20 for commercial, 40 for.
yeah, there would be no difference to their bill. They wouldn't notice.
It'd be a wash for the residents.
Yes.
But these commercial and industrial is new.
It's not new, it's
No.
just, it would be an increase for them, because right now, industrial and commercial are the same, and they're what, $2, $1
Yeah.
a month? So they're gonna go up substantially, but residential would stay basically the same because of the debt reduction coming off.
And we think it'll generate somewhere north of 600,000 a year to be spent just on storm. And things associated with storm, catch basins, piping, curbs, curb boxes.
Do we have a short and long-term plan for replacing curbs, storm boxes in specific areas of need, or we
I have a list of projects, just the work orders that I have right now. A good example would be Bayberry, between Dave Skelton's house and Joe Skelton's old house. That needs piped. It's causing erosion to where Joe Skelton's mom and dad lived, to the corner of the basement, because it's not piped. So that needs placed under a 36-inch underground pipe, just like Flint Drive, and that where it is underground. Right now, it comes out the Bayberry and just cascades out there in a big waterfall and a big rainfall event, and it's just washed everything out. So that's one, the erosion that we have on Buena Vista, going down through there. And of course, that's mine water. You know, that money could also be used for matching AMLR funds that we may be able to get. We've just never had any way of generating matching funds for a lot of those grants. Sleepy Hollow Drive between the high school and that, you know, those people are having erosion problems in their backyards, like school property, and all that needs to be underground. I mean, piped and forgot about, but it carry the water away. Wandell's another project. We have Adams Street up towards the, that's the east end of Adams. That
So will
line
these-
water
Will these
runs
be
all the-
prioritized?
Yeah,
the fire
yeah,
hydrants?
those are the big priorities.
and what's the timeline as far as, you know, we have to wait till we build up some funds, but what,
It'd be like starting in 2025 would be.
I mean, if we could tell the residents, look, this is what we're doing, and this is when we're going to start improving.
We have a
Our stormwater.
list of, I mean, we've done Glendale, we've done, North 10th Street, we've done South 5th Street at Locust. There's a lot of projects that we've done and spent, and we have all those work orders for catch basins and piping and everything that we have done. So you need to probably send that off to council, Max.
I'd just like to see
That
a
way you
comprehensive
see-
plan on where we're starting and where we're planning on
I
ending.
have it all here.
And when.
If you guys would like to see that. I'm sorry it's so small, but I had Angie send me just same thing I talked about, Adams, Buena Vista, Sleepy Hollow, Poplar Street, all that new training center we put in has no drainage. You know, every catch basin on Main Street, Chestnut Street, or anything that's brick needs replaced. And just to give you a small catch basin is, we're paying $350 right now. And the bad thing is the cost of pipe right now for an 8-inch pipe for one stick, and I think that's 10 feet, $1,500. Because we run plastic, obviously, for stormwater, get rid of the old clay. So anyway, I guess what I need for council is, yes, we want to go forward. I'll get it all, we'll work on getting it into a plan, I guess, that spells it out.
I just know that when we did the water rates, we discussed how, I want to be careful how we're going to say this to our residents, because I'm thinking when we did the water rates, we said the debt reduction will be coming off, so it's not like they're going to miss anything.
Right, and then
And I get the reason why we need this. I get it. But I don't know that we should be saying the same thing, because the water rate's going up.
So I think what was said at that moment was we adjusted water rates $5 to $6, and the balance of that was going to be in a stormwater utility program, the remaining $4 to $5. And I think once we met with council and saw the other cities around us, it was just decided if we dropped this, if we're collecting $10, let's go ahead and collect $10. And that's what was said at the time that water rates were raised, was it was going up $5 to $6. I think it was $5.60.
Yeah, because I remember you saying
we
our
had-
water rates
and then-
are as low.
Right, and then we were going to use that difference in a stormwater utility. And I think having a meeting, it was, a consensus of, we can start at 5 or 6 for the stormwater utility, and then it has to go up every year. And I think the simplest thing to happen is put the $10 charge on, which is a wash, which essentially people will be, without our initial plan, people will be paying $5 to $6 more a month for their water bill with the plan as it is now. And then we won't have to go back in and make an increase every year. So yes, that's what we did initially say. But I think the plan now, as it is, will be good to generate money for that, a definite need. And then we don't have to revisit it. We don't have to go back to it. And to me, 4 or 5 years down the road, look at it and say, but let's look at the price of catch basins. Let's look at the price of piping. And then we'll review it at that time. So that's kind of what was originally stated, and then what we just came together on.
Because I think the last time it was like $3.25 was gonna go into this fund, out of this, whatever, wherever the money was coming from. I don't know. I don't know. I don't like it. I don't like, we told them we were gonna give them their money back, their $10. Now we're taking it back. Man, I don't know. I feel like we're, why can't we go 325 and then just like we did with the water thing, we're gonna raise it every year, regardless. Isn't that the way the water's working now? It's gonna go up every year.
We're supposed to have a study
We're supposed to have
after each
after each year. right?
incremental year and decide whether we
To
need
see
to
where
raise
we
it.
needed to go.
So there's both sides.
Right, I know
can
we
take-
need the money. I know we
can
need
take
it.
And say only charge the $3.25, and then in a year turn around and raise it again.
Because we don't
So,
wanna be.
so everybody's gonna see their bill go down.
Yeah.
And then in a
And
year,
then
it's
they're
gonna go
gonna
back
say
up.
go
Yeah,
or
up.
we
So
keep it
that's
the
kind of right.
same.
And that's kind of what was
What was
agreed
already,
on.
yeah, so
why
there's
you-
there's
You know,
kind of
I
two
see
ways
both
to look
sides
at
of it,
I-
because
yeah.
we don't want to be where we were at with the water department, why we had to do the $10 thing.
Right.
We don't want to be there.
Right.
So, I mean, and if council wants to do it, let's do it. I mean,
Should we
but
have a public hearing,
that's kind of what I'm thinking. Let's bring some people in here and talk about it.
or at least give them the opportunity?
Yeah,
Give them the opportunity.
yeah,
If
On the
they have
30th.
questions, then Max or Mark can answer.
I have some examples. This is
We had
2018 of what other communities
Yeah,
around
we-
us are
Mhm.
paying, just like Ironton.
right, right,
In 2018, they was at 1455.
right.
Oak Harbor's 8, Lancaster 764, of course, that's 6 years ago,
Mhm.
so I'm sure they're more than that now.
I worry about the small businesses, because I know quite a few in Zanesville that have small businesses, and they were not happy
Well,
about paying that.
we're way under.
So, yeah, because
what the
doesn't Zanesville
businesses
do
are.
like a percentage of their,
Yeah.
like, yeah.
It's
Zanesville
it's
does
based
a-
on ESUs, and it's based on their square footage footprint.
And we said,
And-
instead of spending money to do all
Study that.
that and study that,
Right,
just
let's
do a
make
one
it
fee.
simple
So we're not using money to find,
I'd like to see a plan, and I think I don't know what anybody else thinks, but I think we ought to have a public hearing, and then before we vote.
The meeting we had was a public hearing.
Yeah.
It was advertised as a public hearing, nobody was here.
Yeah.
Part of this is my fault, because I'm the one who said, look, we've been charging residents a quarter
Right.
for this, where other cities have been charging $17. We spend every meeting complaining that we don't do anything because we don't have money.
Right.
And it was
Right.
my idea, why nickel and dime this? Start charging enough money so that the city can actually start replacing its infrastructure. Because the citizens have been benefited for years and years by paying a quarter. And I realize it's a big increase, and I realize nobody wants to throw this onto the residents. But it was my idea, rather than come back year after year and try to raise these fees, and then complaining why we don't replace our infrastructure, is let's put a fee in that's fair. It's still cheaper than every other city, but allows us to raise some money and start replacing some infrastructure. But I also understand every other concern that's been raised.
Just kind of like Kaylee said, and Max, it's a wash, because the $9.75 is coming off. It's gonna be on the bill here in October. So they're paying the $9.75 and the $25. So they get $10 on their bill. So come November, whenever this will pass, they'll still have $10 on the bill. It'll just be listed as
Right.
one $10 charge versus 25 cents and $9.75.
Right.
One thing that I think will ease people's concern a little bit is you'll have actual projects where they'll see a completed project.
Right.
Like you say, okay, we're gonna look and drain those people's backyards on Adams Street that they can't even walk through in the dead of summer in a drought because of coal minings. They'll be able to see, yes, we sent a contractor up there, we dug, put drainage lines in, got that water out to the Red Sea outfall.
That's why I say we need a plan and a timeline so we can tell Mike that we're gonna take care of this in his precinct.
Right now, I don't have anything to tell. I mean, when I go up there and I look, I feel for them. And I get every time it rains, they're getting water in their patios but, we don't have that kind of funding to.
I think it's easier to swallow knowing that you're paying $10, you're gonna continue to pay $10, but your $10 now, you are gonna see something out of it. You're gonna see new catch basins. You're gonna see, maybe you have a catch basin in your yard big enough for a child to fall down through and an adult to fall down through, those starting to get fixed. Whereas, their money is now going to something that they can see versus a debt payment.
So this money is strictly earmarked for our infrastructure.
For stormwater. It's just like the quarter.
Right now, we actually, you go to Roscoe, like on High Street, there'll be homemade bars over what's supposed to be draining, those people's water. You can imagine how much water comes off Roscoe Hill. And it's old clay tile, it's collapsed and it's caved in. And so then the water doesn't get where it's supposed to be. We have to capture our stormwater. I mean, there's no other choice with the EPA. So we do that now and we do what we can with inspections and we work with the soil and water and we probably do as good as we can with what we have right now. So I feel like we do.
I think everybody on council has a concern with our infrastructure.
Yeah.
We need to be doing something.
Well, it's been so long neglected that it just, it's just gotten almost out of control. And it's just up to us to take the initiative to take control of the Niagara project. We need to get and I think that, Max has already talked about that, about getting a timeline,
So is this an ordinance that we're going to have to pass it on the 30th?
Well, to get it.
Because it comes off at the end of the month.
Right, we said, then we say if we put it on the agenda on the 30th and then pass it on the 13th, we could then have it ready to go on that bill. So nobody would see a difference. There wouldn't be.
And I also think that would give residents long enough time to do whatever they feel like they need to do. And I would be all right with that.
I
You
guess
know,
we know it's necessary.
Yes, yes.
I would just like for residents or whoever to have the chance during the public input to come in.
Or the calls.
Yeah,
Or
calls.
just, call or,
Yeah,
I'm good. with
I
it.
know we need it. And I just want to make sure we take the right
We do it
steps.
right.
And I agree with Mike. We just have the
Yeah, we put it off
unfortunate
too
job of passing it. So
Yeah.
I don't know that we actually need to have a public meeting. They can do it during the
Yeah, I
public
mean,
input.
I think that's 2 weeks or whatever, 3 weeks. That's long enough to.
So we'll introduce it on the 30th
30th.
and pass it on the 13th.
That work, man?
Yeah.
Does that give
As long as, my perspective, we can have everything done ahead of time in the billing office so that we know it's past the 13th, because I don't know the calendar. When's the 15th in November?
It's 2 days after the 13th.
Wednesday, we'll be okay.
Okay.
Yeah, 13th is Monday.
Yeah.
Yep, we'll have it all ready, so then, when we do the billing, it'll be in there. Because either way, decide not to do that, I still need the rate change ordinance passed before later than the 13th, so we can take the debt reduction off.
Right.
But
First and third.
right now it's in the ordinance, so if we want to stop billing that, we need to take it out of the ordinance.
Well, see, that's why that debt reduction should have never been in that ordinance in the first place.
no matter what ordinance in, it needs to come out.
So we have to amend it.
You know, when you redo the stormwater, let them out, I'll take care of all that.
Okay,
I have some, I mean, if any of you guys are interested after council meeting tonight, I got the open work orders right now. It doesn't include those big projects, but just what we have open from the stormwater standpoint.
And you're saying that's like 600 and some thousand a year?
Yeah,
We could do some
you
stuff
that.
with that.
Yeah, I think we can, and we can show you what, I mean, there's been a lot of work done
Mhm.
already.
Some of these projects,
And there's
I
a
mean,
lot.
like
See if
the
going
engineer.
forward.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
yes.
But what will be? what
well, would this
will
be
done
something
will be-
that, oh, go ahead, Mike, I'm sorry.
What will be done will be very visible to
Right.
the citizens, and you'll be, it's like, oh, wow, this is, I don't mind paying this a little bit of money to.
Right.
Well,
Yes.
and essentially, you can also, there's alleys that are in that flood out. There's other areas, there's a lot of areas in town that have zero drainage. You know, it will essentially, if you have proper curbs and drainage, you actually save your pavement too, where the water's not blowing across the roads every time it rains and ripping your roads up. So
So some of these
essentially,
projects, when they're engineered, we could actually have SPP try to get some extra matching funds for them as well.
yeah, we would have
Ample
that.
funds is
We,
for
yeah,
stormwater.
We'd have that
we
option
would
as well.
have we would actually have a match for whatever funds
Mhm.
that we went and applied for.
So if we get 600, it's almost gonna be like,
Mm,
Yeah.
See how
Extra.
good, yeah, see how good we can, I mean, yeah, it would most definitely be a way to leverage that towards any future funding.
So you want to do a curb project, you get matching funds that way to go against that. Because you know, our curbs are, that's a big part of stormwater is directing the water to get to the
We have
basin to begin with.
Yeah, somewhere.
Yeah, Chestnut Street, we lost all our curbs.
Yeah.
Because they was just pieces of cement laid on top of the brick.
all right. Okay,
So the other thing the infrastructure talked about was charging a 10% late fee on the entire bill would include the stormwater rather than just water and trash and,
Which is what we've been doing.
so that you'll see an ordinance changing two of ordinances to add that 10% fee to everything. You're gonna see an ordinance changing the stormwater to the fees we talked about. You're gonna see an ordinance amending Exhibit 3, which explains all our water rates and also have the debt reduction in there. So you're gonna see multiple ordinances related to what the infrastructure committee met and decided upon. Those will all be ready for the 30th for you to look at and then pass on the 13th.
so how would that 10% be divvied up?
It's
We are
It goes to the fund that, so if the 10% is on the
Mhm.
stormwater, it
It
goes to
goes-
the stormwater fund. If it's on the water, it goes to the water, sewer, trash.
Are you talking about the late fee?
Yeah, we already do that on the whole bill,
And we
right?
always, yeah, we're not doing that. But that's the language that needs to be.
Okay,
Yeah, another good project is that Phil mentioned Second Street. You know, there's no drain. I don't know if you guys ever go down through there in a gully washer. There's no drainage down through there. And yeah, it's where somebody had a hydroplane and hit a building or something. So that's another big project that people will see. And that could coincide actually that the street's gonna, Sherry and I joke, we're just getting ready to pay off the loan on that. It needs repaved again.
Right.
And I think that was what, right at 20 year maybe? But, yeah, that's our main street basically now, so as far as businesses go.
appreciate the infrastructure committee that's taking the time to do that.
Yep.
I know it wasn't a 10-minute meeting. Appreciate it. Thanks, Jim, for having that up. Anything else, Max?
Well, I know the mayor's got some stuff, we are continuing the brick project over at Roscoe. I don't know if anybody's been over there and seen what you guys are doing over there. We may have to give them some more time. They had 2 people quit. So it's like every place else. So I said, well, it needs to be done by the end of the year. So, and they're been very good on the weekends, not leaving anything, you don't even know they've been there. So what I've seen them do, those are very good. So I think that's all I have, unless you guys have other questions.
Maxie, and I know I've emailed you this and you follow up on it, the water leak that we repaired on Denman and then one at the corner of Sleepy Hollow and Cambridge.
Plates.
Yeah, well, the one at Sleepy Hollow has nothing.
It has a work order for it.
And then the plate, it seemed like that was leaking. There was a plate in there. It's probably been a 6-month. I guess I don't understand why that hasn't been
Is that on your
fixed
list,
yet.
Dave?
Yes, you know, we've got that contracted out. I know Albert's got, I think, 10 of the 13 done. There's 2 left to do. There's that one. The one at Sleepy Hollow in Cambridge, that's been repaired twice. That keeps settling. I'll take a look at that one, but I don't think there's a plate there.
No, it's just a.
We
about
put
a 2
all
inch.
of them in there, and I got 8 out max. I'll put that on the list.
But, you know, Denman's a well-traveled street and I'm waiting on that plate to come up and I know it's got something around it, but it's still got a couple of edges that are hanging there.
Hot mix, right?
And then the drain at the Browns Lane entrance into Bueller's, I brought that up before. That's a busted tire waiting to happen there. I guess my other question, I don't know if it's Mark or Max, but we had a guy come in and talk about the gas and the electric aggregate. Whatever happened to that?
I brought it up at Meet the Candidates the other night. We got on the radio prior to the election. We probably ought to do that either this week or early next week, because early voting is
I
out
thought he
there.
said he was gonna get right on it and educate the public.
Yeah.
That's never happened. That's why.
Well, we sent out the FAQs in the water bill this month for gas and electric. I fielded several calls. People's got their ballots at home and wanted to know what was going on, so they've been calling in here. And I made that clear to the candidates and they was welcome to call here. And so people have been taking advantage of that. Mark's had fielded several calls about it.
That's something you can cover on the talk show or.
I can't right now.
Yeah, right now, it'll be Max. So Max will
He's
be
in trouble with them.
No, I can't. Yeah,
I got
right.
What I'd like to do is go on the talk show and talk about that and the street levy. I talked about that, meet the candidates as well.
And like I've said, it really, the easiest way to explain it, because I had to explain it to my own mother, is we're not buying an electric or a gas company. We are just going to use all of our buying power to make the transmission charge cheaper for the residents.
I think if the residents understand that.
And that's as simple as, I mean, and if you're in another program, the program we're gonna use will not mess that up. And if you want to be in our program and opt out, there's no cost, there's no locking anyone in anything, there's no tricks. And like I said, we're not buying a gas or a electric company. We're just using all of our buying power to go in together to negotiate a rate that's lower than what we have now.
I mean, the guy said he was gonna educate the people. Seems like it's been a while since he was here. Finally brought it up. Mayor, before you go, Tiffany, you want to go ahead and give us what you have?
Yeah, I'll just give you guys a quick update. You guys do have pages, yes, that have been distributed. We'll honestly just kind of read through these, and then if you have any questions, you can certainly ask. The first 3 bullets are ODOD, that is the Ohio Department of Development, the Governor's Office of Appalachia. This is the Appalachia Community Grant that has been quite time consuming, but a real opportunity for the Appalachian counties in the state of Ohio. Round 1 development funds have went out and the agreements have been received. We are a sub-recipient for the Coshocton Collaborative, which is the original part of the Pastime Theater building. That will be for the Coshocton Collaborative building. The abatement work is set to begin this week, so we're excited about that. We actually had Mark and Max down today just to talk about logistics for dumpsters, trailer parking, those kind of things, because that is right in the heart of our downtown. Additional roof analysis and thermal scans have been completed to give us a better idea of what we're getting into with roof repair. And we are hopeful that the bids will be prepared and we'll be able to get someone mobilized really by the end of this year. So you'll see considerable construction happening on the original part of that building. With the exciting news is the $5.8 million project should be completed by the end of next year. So that's very exciting. We do have some preliminary designs. Of course, you guys are welcome to see those if you want to stop down to the office. I also have them in an email format as well. Round two development applications, those will open November of 23. They'll close, I said likely close in January because it's a bit of a moving target right now. But Coshocton Committee, there's a stakeholder group that's been meeting anywhere from weekly to bi-weekly on those to really kind of make sure that we are fully prepared for our submission. We did make the decision that Omega, our local development district, will be the lead applicant, and they will be the lead applicant for our entire region, which is 10 counties. The governor's office has stated that it's very important that this is transformational and regional, and that is the only way it's going to get approved. And so we have made that commitment. This round is going to have $450 million available to the Ohio Appalachian counties. So you can imagine this is going to be very competitive, but we all are kind of working together to make sure that this is the best direction for Coshocton. The round two development application will include the Pastime Theater project. So we will be applying for the funds. Right now, technical assistance dollars are being utilized for preliminary engineering on the theater. And so that's really telling us exactly what we have to get this project completed. So far, we have worked with a consultant that specializes in theater. We have also worked with a potential managing partner. We've actually engaged with them to talk about what operation will look like moving forward. And then we've also met with a restoration specialist to talk through kind of the design and what it is that we want. We think it's very important that the co-working location flow well into the theater space. And so I understand my limitations when it comes to interior design, and we need specialists to help us with that. So those are three exciting things that have really been a collaborative effort with the city, the county, our office, as well as others. Also, we are continuing to work with our Huntsville industrial team, Dave Kadry, the engineer's office, and Ohio Southeast, which is our regional economic development partner, on the preliminary engineering for water and wastewater, as well as access roads into the Huntsville industrial site. Those conversations are going quite well. We are hopeful that we're going to have some true documents in hand by the end of this year, so that we can make sure that we are applying for grant dollars to extend water to those areas. In addition to that, we of course, are continuing to do our RFIs. Those are how we basically engage with potential businesses to locate at the site. We have had 4 site visits this year, which is exciting. And so far, 2 of those seem to be progressing, one of which has an application into the federal government for some funding that will help provide some gap funding if they were to come here. That funding source is the Department of Energy. One of the things that Mark and I had the opportunity to do was jump on a call with what could be a potential sister city in the country of Chile, to talk through what it would look like for us to partner with them. We're a few years ahead of where they are, but that relationship could actually help us advance some projects with the Department of Energy. So we're excited about that. We are completing our 2023 PRNEs. Those are business retention expansion visits right now. We do those throughout the year. We feel that it's very important that we engage with all of our businesses, large and small, understand what their challenges are, but also make sure that they see what some potential opportunities are with grant funding that we may be able to help them with as well. We are also setting our schedule for the 2024 year as well. We have completed some initial work with Company X on a community data set or community benefits package. This is the company that is currently in review with Department of Energy that would like to come here. We had a great visit with them. Again, that was progressing, and we feel like that is something that is of great potential for our community. We are working with the Ohio Department of Development on a brownfield grant at the former Steel Ceilings property, which is now the Justice Center site. The installation of the vapor barrier, which is really what the brownfield project was set out to do, is about 99% complete. So that is exciting. There needs to be some piping there that's going to have to be done when other contractors are finished up with their work. And so that'll probably be happening in the next few months. We also have completed then a letter of intent for the 24-25 brownfield application. So we do have additional dollars coming. We've targeted 2 different locations for that funding, one of which is Custom Glove Site that's currently owned by the land bank, and then There is another one that Mark and I have also targeted as well. We've done some due diligence on that. We're hopeful that that will be our 25 application. We're also working again with ODOD on a building demolition and redevelopment grant program. That program has allowed us so far to demo 11 structures. Initially, we've processed another 9 to 12 structures located throughout our community to also then complete the demolition work on. We're hopeful that the bids will be out for that by the end of this year, and we'll be able to get those down early spring of next year. And then we're also engaged in another letter of intent for the 24-25 year, which means we have another $500,000 that we'll be able to utilize to tear down more residential and commercial structures. Those are not brownfield grants, those are different. So that allows us to open up some structures for residential. We're wrapping up our Rise Ohio grant. That is the EDA grant that we received with Ohio University and Omega. That's allowed us to do the housing study, the hotel feasibility study. We've done some due diligence and a site plan development for one of our industrial sites as well, which should line us up hopefully for a potential spec building on one of those sites. And that also includes some TIFs and tax increment financing review so that we understand if we're going to do that to move infrastructure into other areas, we want to be able to do a TIF district. So we're looking at the legislation for that. And then we would bring that, of course, to you guys to review and potentially approve. In addition to that, we're also looking at extending some JED areas to make sure that we, again, have got some opportunities for extension of infrastructure. We have been administering the Coshocton TID, that's the Transportation Improvement District. That so far has included the Genesis Road work, and that was for $750, or I'm sorry, that one was for $500,000. But our newest grant is for County Road 126. That's a 4-mile stretch that has got businesses located completely throughout. And so far we've received $250,000 from ARC and GOA and an additional $500,000 from ODOT for that project. Lining up for our next year, then we're targeting one of the roads within the JED as well. So we're hopeful that we'll be just as successful with that program. The County Road 126 project was very successful in part because that community raised a tremendous amount of money for local match. They came together and within a few short months have raised $236,000 to put towards that grant application. So the state really looked at that favorably. And out of all of the applications, only 3 received $500,000. We were one of those, and then the other 2 were large communities, one of which was Hamilton. And then lastly, we are going to be preparing to host an event in Coshocton in December. We'll get you guys to save the dates for that. What we really want to do is we want to make sure that the people that are providing us with grant funds understand our capabilities and our capacity to handle large projects like this. If we don't tell our story well, then we're not going to be teed up well to receive some of these Appalachia Community Grant Awards as well as some of the other awards. So we will make sure that the county has the opportunity to present, the city has an opportunity to present, a lot of our other organizations as well, and hopefully a room full of state and federal officials so that they can hear how well we're doing with the funds that they're granting us and what the future plans are for those. Quick update. Any questions for me? Okay, of course, we are continuing our meetings, and Tom and Mike have been gracious, and when we're not here live presenting, we do meet monthly to go through the executive director's report as well. So if you have any questions, I think I'm fairly easy to find. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Mayor, you just want to wait and give your report in council?
I'll do it really quick. I'll cut a couple things out. You ready?
Yeah.
So one thing I want the community to understand, we have another road. It's almost like the Ferry Falls issue right by Yucatan from Cambridge Road to Walnut Street is actually Dreher Avenue. That's not an avenue. So I have no idea why it's named that way. It's not the same spelling as our fire chief, but it is called Dreher Avenue. Working with, for a land use agreement, something to clean up the signal box that's there, the tracks there. Ultimately, I'd love to see grass planted there and a road right away that we can actually pave. So, but I've been working with Genesee, Wyoming out of Florida for their land people. They've actually been very good and receptive so far, so just looking forward to getting that and finishing that up. Just wanted to let the public be aware that it's not really our road, so I have to figure that out before we make any improvements to it. Alley paving, we will start alley paving within the next week. I know there's a downtown alley, there's one towards the plaza in that area, one off Cambridge Road. So we will be testing, putting our people to the limit on alley paving, and we're gonna work on crosswalks and stop bars painting. So that's another thing. I think it's just complicated how, especially Main Street, Second Street, we're gonna have to do it probably Saturday, Sunday at some point where there's not a bunch of traffic. So, and that's what we're working on. Anyone have anything for me, please email me, call me. And I wanted to lastly say, advanced vehicle extrication training is going to be at the fire department Wednesday and Thursday. If you want to stop by and see our people and our equipment, our training, it'll be a good day to highlight what we have going on as far as fire service. That's all I have.
Okay, hold on a second. Sherry has something here for us.
On the 30th, I will be presenting for your review the 2024 appropriations. This first round will kind of be a draft because there'll be some figures I, simply won't have just yet. But I'll present those to you on the 24th, and that still will allow us to do, or the 30th for the 24th, 2024, sorry. But that will still allow you to give 3 full readings for it, 2 readings in November, first reading in December.
Okay,
Question real quick. 1123 and 1223, are they the same thing?
No,
They're
no,
not.
paragraphs 2, or I think it's
There's
two, the agents.
I should have highlighted
One
it.
said multi-state, the
One
other
says
says
multi-state,
multi-state, one says
Dated Monday, October 16th, 2023 at 6:35. Regularly scheduled, Coshocton City Council meeting. I'll remind, whoever's listening and anybody who wants to come back at our next meeting. So our next meeting will be, October 30th. That's 5:45, and we can post at 6:30 as possible. So at this time, call the roll, please.
Andrews. Here. Barcroft.
Here.
Gross.
Here.
Johnson.
Here.
Price.
Here.
Moore.
Here.
Turner. Here.
Please stand for the pledge. Remain standing for the invocation. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of
You represent the city. That's what you described and read this and everything you say and do tonight, because in your name, amen.
Okay, council, your email the minutes from the September 25th, 2023 council meetings. Any questions or comments? If not, I need a motion to accept the minutes from September 25th. So moved.
Second.
Andrews, call the roll, please.
Andrews. Yes. Barcroft.
Abstain, I was not here.
Gross.
Yes.
Johnson.
Yes.
Price.
Yes.
Moore.
Yes.
Turner. Yes.
Okay, public input. So,
Kennedy, do you want to leave off? I can start for sure. Well, hello, everyone. My name is Kennedy Blakely, and I am the Communications Manager for the Ohio and Eastern Governments Association, Omega. Our Senior Development Specialist, Erin Wright, was originally supposed to be here tonight. However, she unfortunately fell ill, so you get me. So I'll go ahead and read the statement that Erin has prepared for you guys. As part of the growing popularity of pickleball, the surrounding cities of Columbus, Newark, New Albany, New Philadelphia, and Canton have all constructed new outdoor pickleball courts in the last 2 years, and the demand continues to increase. In the game of pickleball, 4 players are on a court for approximately 25 minutes. The 3 outdoor courts currently available in Coshocton City Recreation Park will accommodate 12 players engaging in continuous play, or 24 players when players rotate out every game. The addition of 3 new courts will double player accessibility to 24 and 48 respectively. Pickleball is a unique sport in that it can easily be enjoyed by players of all ages, all demographics, and all athletic abilities. Courts are routinely shared between individuals that are separated by 30 or 40 years, but through pickleball have become part of the same social circle. Pickleball is attractive to people that want to have fun, make friends, and improve their health, but may find more demanding sports beyond their capabilities. The sport is easy to learn and easy to play, but still challenging enough to spark competitive rivalries, allowing participants to engage in tournament play and other fun activities. The city of Coshocton believes this is a critical opportunity to promote active, healthy lifestyles in an outdoor setting and foster connections between residents of all ages. In an age where digital entertainment has seemingly taken center stage in many people's lives, the city is excited to see the interest and engagement that is taking place because of residents playing pickleball together. This is especially critical as the city of Coshocton has a median household income of just $45,884. When compared to the state average of $65,720, the importance of free outdoor recreational facilities comes into stark focus. Many residents cannot afford to seek out pay-to-play options. Even driving to a neighboring city to play on their courts can become a hardship when faced with the high cost of gasoline. Many residents face daily financial struggles, and the city feels a strong responsibility to provide as many quality of life amenities and services as possible. And Erin has a spot here for you folks to voice your opinions and support, but letters of support can be sent to Erin Wright, our Senior Community Development Specialist. And I do have her information, should anyone want that after the meeting.
can you read that information so we can get it on?
Absolutely, yes. So our address at Omega is 326 Highland Avenue, Suite B, Cambridge, Ohio, 43725. Our phone number is 740-439-4471. Aaron's cell phone number, if you're ready for that, it is 330-243-0133. And you can also reach her via email at Wright, WRIGHT, @omegadistrict.org. And I also have some little maps of the courts as they exist now and how we hope they will exist in the future. Should anyone want those, I will just leave those right there. Thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else? Come forward to state your name and your address, please. Bunch of cricket.
This is the most quiet I've ever heard.
I know, they sit down when you ask them to stay standing. Probably most of their bedtimes, Margaret.
They've been playing pickleball.
Hi,
Go ahead.
my name is Rachel McCreary, and I am the new head director of pickleball at Kids America facility. I've been a co-director for a couple of years there of pickleball. So Daphne is going to address a different age demographic, but what my hopes are in the next few years is to build the pickleball program amongst the youth. Tomorrow, as a matter of fact, we're going into Coshocton City Schools, and we're going to teach a group of boys in the group school program. Really looking forward to that, a group of boys and their instructors. We're looking forward to getting it into the other neighboring schools in our county. Pickleball, some of you may know, is already, as she mentioned, in city schools thus far. Our club recently sponsored a free event at Kids America Sports Facility. We served pizza and we fed, we taught families how to play pickleball. We called it Family Fun Day, the Pickleball Way. We had 40 brand new pickleball players. 21 of them were children and 19 adults. It was required that it would be families or parents or aunts, uncles, grandparents joining the children. That was a great success. We are driving by the courts in the afternoons. I drive by Hall Park and sometimes City Rec. I'm usually playing there in the afternoons, but I drive by other parks in our town and I'm seeing new families, young families playing pickleball almost every time I drive there that I do not recognize. We are looking forward to raising money as a club to get paddles into the hands of less fortunate children. That's a big one for us because what we would like to see is when we're all leaving the courts at 11:30 in the morning, the kids are just waking up throughout the summer and they're going to have a paddle and some balls to use the courts for what they're designed to be used. We've already been at the courts a number of times playing. When children come, they take their shoes off, and I'm talking way more than one time. Several times they'll take their shoes off and they'll start playing pickleball with their shoes and broken balls. So we're in the process of working on raising money, again, like I said, to get paddles into the hands of our kids and our youth. And we're looking forward to seeing this sport continue to grow amongst the youth. Thank you.
So I'm going to add what I can. I wasn't completely prepared for this because I wasn't sure I was going to be in town for it, but addressing the senior issue in that we all love this. It's the largest demographic of the population that we're probably going to deal with. It's ending up to be one of the biggest sports for us as well. I just returned from a tour from Spain and we are trying to advance it through Spain and they can't believe how it's grown here. And then I'm personally telling them how huge it is in Coshocton, as our membership is like 85. I mean, I don't know how many clubs have that kind of paying membership. We have more players than that. We're probably up to 114. So that's just your senior population. I could talk about the fellowship. I could go on and on more. I just wanted to invite you to come and to feel it. You only have to play once or twice. I ran a Rotary program where everybody came and played, and you feel it. I mean, there's just so much camaraderie. On the other side of it, from my business perspective, the economic viability is huge. I'm just finishing a second estate. People are coming back here to retire. And I want to tell you, a big reason isn't just our community, but that we have a huge facility for sports that comes down to a campus. It's amazing, comparatively speaking. I play in Massillon, Mentor, Columbus, Akron. I can go on. Wherever I work, I play because we have apps. We can get connected and we can play. Those people I invite here. One of them happened to be a client in German Village. They're now building in state out by Olinger's where they bought some property. They weren't gonna do that. They were coming to Michigan. But I said, I want you to come see his property. And then he's a marathon runner. I said, Dad, I want you to come. I want you to just play. I'm not saying it's pickleball. It's obviously our community, but it's the willingness to advance. It's the willingness to see what's happening and join in. And this is on fire. This is exploding. And it is adding so much to the bottom line of our community. It really is. It's going to create jobs. I guarantee it. And it's just going to give people a reason, whether it's just for your children, or whether it's you and your wife, going to come back here and retire. We've got the place for you. And we compare to every large community. And I'm personally interested in just seeing this grow and get bigger and bigger. And this is a great step towards that. So I can give you numbers too, if you'd like it the next.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Anybody else? Sherry serving food and drinks at her house. So that's what she said earlier.
My name is Eric Exley. I live at 825 Sarah Drive. I was the engineer that designed the project. I also play pickleball every day. What we're looking at, the uncolored courts are the three that are existing. We've got one additional court we're looking at. That's the Nature Works grant that we applied for 2 months ago, maybe. It's for $24,710. We're anticipating receiving money for that, and that'll be our fourth court in that area. And down by the shelter house, we'd like to put 6 additional courts for a total of 10. We have 10 indoor courts at Kids America. It's nice in the wintertime. It's the only place people in the area can come for an indoor tournament. But outdoor tournaments are so much nicer. We would have the opportunity to have 10 outdoor courts and have a tournament scheduled. And everyone knowing that if it rained, we could move it inside. It would be a tremendous benefit for competition against other cities that are trying to do this. Presently, we're looking to raise $360,000 for those 6 courts. The grant that the Land and Water Conservation Fund is a matching fund grant. $180,000 that we're asking for in that grant, we would have to match. We've raised $51,500. In addition, my in-kind service is $27,000, so we're looking at about $78,500. We're also writing grants or requesting funding from Kimball, Montgomery Foundation, and Coshocton Foundation to try and make up the other $180,000. What we're looking for is support from City Council. Say, yes, this is a viable project. Yes, we're in favor of it. So we can go ahead and pursue the Land and Water Conservation Fund. Do you have any questions?
Eric, I do have one. The shelter house you showed, that's a large shelter house.
Yes.
And having walked that area quite a bit, I know that sometimes water builds up where the new 6 pickleball courts. Are there any plans to alleviate possible issue there?
Because the ground lays fairly flat, I've got 11 inches of gravel fill, and then 5 inches of concrete on top of that. So we're gonna be about a foot higher than that area. That should take care of it.
Kind of, Eric, what kind of upkeep needs to be done on these outdoor courts to maintain their?
Typically, we bring our leaf blowers and keep them blown off, and we take care of them, players do. The city maintenance crew takes the nets down in the winter time and puts them up in the springtime.
The paint?
I would guess every 10 or 12 years, you may have to repaint it. Anybody else? Good. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Anyone else? Barry, you nominating anybody else?
Rachel wants to make sure. I'm Diane Irwin, and my address is 880 Kensington Road. And I just want to make sure you know we really need the new outdoor courts, because even though we are still playing in the summertime, we have people playing indoors too, because we do not have enough courts outdoors to actually, you know, provide people with them too, because they're filled up at all park and also the city court then too. And just the love of the game, I can't believe how many people from out of town are coming to Coshocton. When we have a tournament, they come from Columbus, Pittsburgh, West Virginia, Cleveland, Michigan, Akron, Michigan. I mean, we have them all over. How many? 175 people?
Yeah, that.
Said that it is amazing how much money is going to, it brings in when there is going to be a tournament. So we have tournaments in the winter, but if we have them in the summer, that would even bring more. And that, I mean, Kids America is usually dead at that time, but I think that with the city courts, if we would have the facility that we have is amazing. And we're even talking about even having big professional even tournaments, like from pros that could even, with our facility, can actually cover it, which even cities like Westerville can't even handle a big tournament like this because they don't have the indoor facilities. But if we have the outdoor, that we for sure, and we can cover the indoors, it'd be amazing to have.
Now, talking to Mark Kowalski, the city superintendent, he's discussed adding pickleball courts to the tennis court area and kind of reconstructing that area, which would help also. A couple of tennis courts and then a couple of pickleball courts. So, because the tennis courts right now are horrible, so he's looking at improving that.
Okay, nothing else?
Marcia Cousin, 1316 Barrett Falls Drive. This weekend we have a tournament. It's more of a local tournament, but there are people from out of town. Starts at 8:30 Saturday morning, so you're all invited to come and witness our tournament and witness the camaraderie that we have together as a group and as a new viable group for the city of Coshocton.
Thank you. Anybody else? Going once? Twice? Jerry? Okay, thank you all for coming in. I know it's important. I know when I walk down there in the winter, I have to walk over on the other side before you guys come in, so I don't get hit with a ball or a racket, so, but I do see a lot of your familiar faces down there, so, thank you. We'll move on to the mayor's report. I know that, Mayor, Bob sent out your mayor's report, the general fund, the building report summary. Do you have anything else to add?
No, well, a couple things, just the good stuff. And I tell you, I wish I had the energy of our pickleball club. I feel like I need it right now, late night on a Monday, but I swear, if you want to see something awesome, it's like, it's not even about the game. Like, it's just about the attitude and I don't think Daph's old enough to say anything about seniors. We're talking about high school seniors. You're talking about high school, but go watch them. I'm telling you, it's just, it's amazing what's going on and to watch the young and old alike and just enjoy the game and dress up, and you never know what they're gonna pull next. So thank you guys for being dedicated, and I reassure you that we'll do everything we can as a city to make your plans happen. And thank you, Kennedy from Omega. If you all don't know, Kennedy's actually from Coshocton, so. And we appreciate everything Omega does for us. I just think Aaron just tried to get out of that road trip tonight. I want to say a couple things. Coshocton and Bloom was honored at the American and Bloom Symposium last week, I believe. And we received first place for best use of containers and landscaping. And our very own Judge France, we have Mrs. France. Judge France was honored, won the Dwight Lund Community Champion Award. And I love it because every time you hear, I just came across the bridge and there's flowers everywhere. It brings a smile to my face that the judge and Coshocton Bloom, what they're doing for our city. Just another integral part of us being a great community. And with that, CVB, our Convention and Visitors Bureau won a Ruby Award from the Ohio Travel Association for their 2023 Visitors Guide. I think I want to call it second place, but I'm just going to call it the Ruby Award. I think there was like different levels. I'm not sure. It was good. So it won an award. It was awesome. The canal boat was on the front. I think that's why it won the award, because they took Sherry off the cover this year. I knew she'd love that. And just, yeah, the fair's over, and want to say it was a great fair. Not many issues. I want to thank the fair board and for everyone who supported our fair this year. I think attendance was pretty much the same as it was last year. So I just want to thank everyone there. If anyone has questions, I'll answer them. Max?
Just in the interest of time, I don't have anything else other than what we brought up in committee, unless you guys got additional questions. I will say though, these guys, the pickleball club, I don't know what your official title is, that's why I call it, they are great to work with. And I can't wait to get that fourth quarter next spring, so assuming I think we'll get that money, but they're a great group, and I would, obviously, from my personal standpoint, it does support anyway possible.
Okay, law directors, council, your email, the law directors report for the month of September 2023. Any questions? That was emailed. Auditors report. You're also emailed the auditors report for September 2023. And Sherry also sent out a description of her appropriations and transfers in a separate email. Everybody get that? If so, I need a motion to accept the auditors report. Okay. Johnson. Call the roll, please.
Andrews?
Yes.
Barcroft?
Yes.
Rose?
Yes.
Johnson?
Yes.
Price?
Yes.
Moore?
Yes.
Turner?
Yes.
Sheriff's report. Council emailed the sheriff's report. Any questions for Sheriff Crawford? Sheriff, you have anything for us?
Nothing to add unless there's questions.
Crowded back there? Yeah.
All good.
Deputy Sheriff, you have anything for us?
I should have questions.
Dave, you have anything? We're emailed the report for Dave. Anybody have any questions for Dave? Dave, right?
I did attach that reservoir study. They're using that information as they try to, Tiffany mentioned going to the Conesville site, so that's being used already.
You also emailed the income tax report. Anybody have any questions for that? Good. Go into legislation. I'll ask the clerk to give the first reading of ordinance 4723.
Transfer.
For the first reading of ordinance 4723, any questions or comments?
Make a motion to suspend the rules and go to the third reading.
Second.
Call the roll, please.
Andrews.
Yes.
Barcroft.
Yes.
Gross.
Yes.
Johnson.
Yes.
Price.
Yes.
Moore.
Yes.
Turner.
Yes.
Third reading of ordinance 4723. Yeah.
Oh, transfer.
Third reading of ordinance 4723. Any questions or comments? Call the roll. The
Andrews.
question is, did the ordinance pass? Call the roll, please.
Andrews.
Yes.
Barcroft.
Yes.
Gross.
Yes.
Johnson.
Yes.
Price.
Yes.
Moore.
Yes.
Turner.
Yes.
Ordinance 4723 is passed. I ask the clerk to give the first reading of ordinance 4823.
Appropriation.
For the first reading of ordinance 4823, any questions or comments?
I make a motion to suspend the rules and give 4823 a third reading.
Call the roll, please.
Andrews.
Yes.
Barcroft.
Yes.
Gross.
Yes.
Johnson.
Yes.
Price.
Yes.
Moore.
Yes.
Turner.
Yes.
Clerk, please give the third reading of ordinance 4823.
Appropriation.
Question or comments? The question is, should ordinance 4823 pass? Call the roll, please.
Andrews.
Yes.
Barcroft.
Yes.
Gross.
Yes.
Johnson.
Yes.
Price.
Yes.
Moore.
Yes.
Turner.
Yes.
Ordinance 4823 is passed. I'll ask the clerk to give first reading of ordinance 5023.
An ordinance by the council of the city of Coshocton, Ohio, authorizing the city of Coshocton to prepare and submit an application to participate in the Ohio Public Works Commission State Capital Improvement and or local transportation improvement programs, execute contracts as required, and upon award of the grant/loan to authorize and direct the safety service director to advertise for bid and award bids for the WWTP electrical upgrade project.
For the first reading of ordinance 5023, any questions or comments? If not, I need a motion to suspend the rules.
Make a motion to go to a third reading.
Barcroft, call the roll, please.
Andrews.
Yes.
Barcroft.
Yes.
Gross.
Yes.
Johnson.
Yes.
Price.
Yes.
Moore.
Yes.
Turner.
Yes.
Please give the third reading of ordinance 5023.
A ordinance by the council of the city of Coshocton, Ohio, authorizing the city of Coshocton to prepare and submit an application to participate in the Ohio Public Works Commission State Capital Improvement and or local transportation improvement programs, execute contracts as required, and upon award of the grant loan to authorize and direct the safety service director to advertise for bid and award bids for the WWTP electrical upgrade project.
Question is, should ordinance 5023 pass? Call the roll, please.
Andrews.
Yes.
Barcroft.
Yes.
Gross.
Yes.
Johnson.
Yes.
Price.
Yes.
Moore.
Yes.
Turner.
Yes.
Ordinance 5023 is passed. We have nothing in the second or third. We do have some resolutions. Please give the reading for resolution 1023.
A resolution authorizing and directing the mayor of the city of Coshocton, Ohio to apply for fiscal assistance from the Ohio Department of Natural Resources through the Land and Water Conservation Fund for purposes of obtaining a park grant for improvement for pickleball court.
Question is, should ordinance 1023 be adopted? Call the roll, please.
Andrews.
Yes.
Barcroft.
Yes.
Gross.
Yes.
Johnson.
Yes.
Price.
Yes.
Moore.
Yes.
Turner.
Yes.
Resolution 1023 is adopted. Please give the resolution 1123 reading.
A resolution authorizing Frederick T. Boxell, Coshocton County Engineer, to prepare and submit an application to participate in the Ohio Public Works Commission State Capital Improvement and or local transportation improvement programs and to execute contracts as required.
Question is, should resolution 1123 be adopted? Call the roll, please.
Andrews.
Yes.
Barcroft.
Yes.
Gross.
Yes.
Johnson.
Yes.
Price.
Yes.
Moore.
Yes.
Turner.
Yes.
Resolution 1123 is adopted. Let's give the reading for resolution 1223.
A resolution authorizing Frederick T. Boxell, Coshocton County Engineer, to prepare and submit an application to participate in the Ohio Public Works Commission State Capital Improvement and or local transportation improvement programs and to execute contracts as required.
Question is, should resolution 1223 be passed? Call the roll, please.
Andrews.
Yes.
Barcroft.
Yes.
Gross.
Yes.
Johnson.
Yes.
Price.
Yes.
Moore.
Yes.
Turner.
Yes.
Resolution 1223 is adopted. Clerk, give the third reading for resolution 1323.
A resolution authorizing City of Coshocton Safety Service Director to apply for, accept, and enter into a water supply revolving loan account on behalf of the City of Coshocton for the planning, design, and/or construction of the water facilities and designating a dedicated repayment source for the loan.
Question is, should resolution 1323 be adopted? Call the roll, please.
Andrews.
Yes.
Barcroft.
Yes.
Gross.
Yes.
Johnson.
Yes.
Price.
Yes.
Moore.
Yes.
Turner.
Yes.
Resolution 1323 is adopted. No new business. Communications, I'd just like to thank the pickleball club for those of you who stayed around till the end. I appreciate that. We have any other communications?
We got a letter from Kenny Coe commending the mayor and council on their efforts to bring positive impact to our community. You all should have gotten a copy of that.
I also received an email from, I'm not sure the gentleman's name, he goes as Durable Brad, complaining about the tractor pulls at the fair. I think the fair's been around a lot longer, so.
172 years.
172 years. It's not the first tractor pull we've had, so it was an email and it was fair, so. Yeah, wrong time of year.
Mr. President,
Yes, sir.
I'd just like to announce that the Coshocton Opportunity School Dress Up Main Street project will be held December 12th. And they will be taking any donations of winter clothing, coats, hats, gloves, etc. On the 4th through the 7th from 4 o'clock to 6 o'clock at the cafeteria entrance of the high school. So we're preparing for that. Thank you.
Anybody
Mr.
else?
President,
Yes, sir.
one comment that we should have made last meeting is, on a personal note, I'd like to congratulate our town Coshocton, Chad Johnson, and the group that put on great summer concerts this year. It was so good for me, and
Absolutely.
very, very hard work to Mr. Johnson and our town.
Absolutely. They worked really hard at that.
I'm gonna do that publicly.
Thank you.
Chad had announced that the Stones will be here next summer. They will play pickleball.
Good deal. Good. So clerk, what is the date and time of our next meeting?
October 30th, 5:45.
Okay. I need a motion for the meeting to be adjourned.
So moved.
Moore, Andrews, call the roll, please.
Andrews. Yes. Barcroft.
Yes.
Gross.
Yes.
Johnson.
Yes.
Price.
Yes.
Moore.
Yeah.
Yeah.